Ready with an opening statement?
All right, that one was, seems like they never come easy, but that one especially was really tough. Had a lot of atom balls offensively, didn't really have anything going the first 6 innings or so, or 5 innings. But what we did have after the first inning was really good pitching and defense. Hayden Knock gave us a quality start. The way he started the game and the way Lucas Malsat finished the game and the defense that we played from the 2nd inning to the 9th inning was championship level defense. And then the timely hits and some of the fireworks, with lining out and the ball not carrying to right field, and just the way we were hitting it pretty good. And so, felt like we needed to force some action, and Jarren got the call for the bases loaded double squeeze, and that was huge. And then Cam with the go-ahead double after that, and then Jarren coming up again with the bases loaded, big 2-out, 2-run single. It just wasn't easy, but pitching, defense, timely hitting, that was the storylines today. So all in all, it's tough to sweep anyone, especially a good team like Greensboro, but we'll take it. Happy, proud of our guys, proud of the way they battled, didn't get down, never hung their heads, and found a way to get it at the end.
Any questions for players?
Jarren, when you get the call for the double squeeze, what are y'all thinking at that time? You got to be pretty exciting because that's a rare play in baseball to get to see and do.
Oh yeah, I kind of had to stay level. We talk about using our breathing. I had to take a second and breathe right there. That was a pretty big ask and pretty big role I had to fulfill, and I'm just glad the coaches had the faith in me that I could get the job done. Just very grateful that I ended up doing it for the team.
Cam, what were some of the emotions watching that double squeeze play out?
We have a young guy starting in the lineup, and he's a really good player. I mean, he was the 9-hole hitter today. He got the bunt down, and I knew we were going to score 2 runs. He did a really great job, and
Cam, when you hit that ball, you think it was going foul?
yeah, I thought it was going foul at first, but I just ran it out to get a double so we could try to score another run.
Any other questions for the players?
And Jarren, when you had earlier had a successful bunt that went and hit the bag, which is unreal, and then you just squeeze. What were you thinking they were thinking at that time when you go up there in the bottom of the 7th and 2 outs and you drive in those 2 runs? What do you think the pitcher and what they were thinking at that time, knowing what you'd already done earlier in the game?
They were probably thinking I was going to bunt again, but before that at-bat, 6, Coach Schnabel told me that just have fun and breathe. I got the call. Coach allowed me to swing that at-bat, so I just want to keep it simple and hopefully score some runs for the team.
Any other questions for players? All right, thank you, players.
Thanks, guys.
Questions for Coach?
I wanted to ask you about the double squeeze. First of all, to execute it, you had to be so real pleased because it's something you don't see all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it was, it was a great play because it worked.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we bunt into a double play with Cannarella on deck, there's one person who looks like a big idiot, and that's this guy. But just felt good about Jarren getting it down, and just the type of kid he is, and just the toughness that he has, and the ability to just will himself to get the bunt down. And felt like at that point in the game we needed to do something unorthodox. We needed to force the action a little bit. It just, the runs were hard to come by. The guy we were facing had a good cutter and a slider, and so that's such a valuable play when it's run. But it's a huge gamble, especially bases loaded, because obviously you have a force out at the plate. So for him to place it the way he did perfectly and allow those 2 runs to score, that was so much more valuable than 2 runs for our team, the way it ignited the team in that moment.
Obviously you practice the bunts all the time. We see you guys doing that. Did he show signs early on that, hey, this is a guy, when I get in this situation, if he's there, I can maybe call this with him and it'll work?
Yeah, everyone on the team can. I mean, every guy on the team has to have that tool in their skill set. Every guy on the team practices it, and if you're a fast guy, you may have more of them. We have a bunch of different bunt base hits. If you're a slow guy, you still might need to do it to beat the shift, like Caden Grice did. He's not slow, but he beat a shift in the ACC tournament last year or somewhere. When was the ACC tournament hit? but he drops a drag bunt down, and so, you know, Alden Mathis has bunted this year, but everybody has it in their arsenal to do it in case we ever need it, and everybody could get the squeeze call. You just never know. I mean, that's the cool thing about our offense is we have so many different ways to score, and when it was tough to score today for those first 6 innings, that was the thing that kind of broke the ice and get it going.
Another quality start from Aiden today. Just talk a little bit about how consistent he's been so far as a freshman.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all saw it in the first inning when the game starts with a physical error, and then Aiden, you know, kind of didn't, I don't think he really thought about, I think he was thinking about making quality pitches, and he got real slow to the plate. And they obviously can steal bases and are a good base stealing team, and they exploited it, and they took off, and then we had a mental error and didn't cover the base, so that turned into another physical error, which allowed him to go first and third. But for him to give up a run in the first inning and then just respond the way he did the second through the sixth, I thought was fantastic. He was working ahead. He was using his changeup. He was, you know, just locating the ball, and he threw what seemed like a pretty high strike percentage, which is what we needed. So, you know, we've been harping on minimizing the free passes, the walks, and the hit by pitches, and so I think we had, you know, combined 4 walks and, you know, 4 total free passes today. So that was an improvement, even though our goal in a game is to be 3 or less.
This was your last non-conference weekend series, getting into ACC conference play next week. What are you looking for there to kind of get yourself ready and kind of get in that groove of conference play, and how different the approach is for you each week?
Well, we still got 2 with Manhattan, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we still need to keep, it's the kind of the same answer. It's always the target on improving, be the best team at getting better. And let's keep trending up so that we are playing our best baseball in June. We know the conference is kind of this like artificial reset, but for us it's, you know, we know that counts separately in a different standings, but for us it's the goal is always going to be on how we play. So fast forward to Duke next weekend, you know, they're an elite team. You know, they got a first rounder on Friday night, closer that's, you know, an All-American, and a lineup that hits a home run every time they come to the plate. So we know that they're very dangerous, but we can't overlook Manhattan and start talking about Duke. But this is going to be a tough week. It's going to be a tough week for a lot of reasons. But it'll be our first double midweek, you know, with 1 catcher, and Jimmy's, I don't think we're going to catch them both games. So, you know, we'll have to figure all that out this week and figure out how to be ready to go against Manhattan and put ourselves in a position to keep playing well, knowing that we're also, you know, have a weekend series to get ready for in conference play.
I was going to ask you about that. How much longer before you know about, you know, getting Jarren back? And
as early as Wednesday, but probably not.
Okay.
You know, if you saw him and he hit today, and he did all the pregame stuff today, and, you know, he's wearing the big, you know, looks like a football mask. So he's good. He, you know, swelling's down. He looks good, feels good, taking swings. So it'll be a progression now to get him back. So it's not long. I mean, it's, you know, if he's not in there this week, he'll be in there next week for sure.
You guys have shown a propensity for being able to play from behind or come from behind. How much is that going to benefit you as you get into conference play?
It's just a belief system that to know that we're never out of the fight. We've come back now so many times that it's just kind of part of our deal. And of course, we'd love to establish a lead and keep a lead, but that, you know, that's not any fun, I guess. So but it's just it's good for us because we know the ACC is going to be a dogfight. It always is, and everybody's awesome. And if you don't play well, you're going to get beat. And you know, the conference is loaded again this year. It's the #1 RPI conference. Last thing I saw. So it's going to be a battle, and luckily for us, we're battle tested already. We have played a tough schedule, tough strength of schedule, good teams. You know, so that's going to be a huge benefit. We may see some, you know, players and some stuff, some pitching, you know, more consistently each weekend now that, you know, closely mirrors what we saw the South Carolina weekend. But we also have seen some really good stuff from some of these pitchers, from Xavier to Kennesaw State. I mean, geez, they you know, you just look at what some of these teams have done. I mean, Xavier beat LSU today. Kennesaw State just took 2 out of 3 from Kentucky, and obviously these guys gave us everything we could handle today. So, yeah, we feel good about it. Feel to answer your question, yeah, battle tested and give us some confidence having a belief system. If, you know, inevitably when we are playing from a deficit, we've been there many times.
I know Billy probably get one of the starts this week, midweek. Who would be your other candidate to be in that midweek starter role?
Probably be a whole staff kind of thing. So Billy will start probably Tuesday. I'll have to get with Coach Bellinger, but yeah, Billy will start Tuesday or Wednesday, and then the other one will be give a bunch of guys work. So we have a lot of guys. We have some guys that haven't pitched yet on staff, so we've good opportunity. And there's guys that, you know, some of our really good pitchers that didn't even pitch this weekend. Nick Clayton and Drew Tidsworth and somebody else. But yeah, so we got a lot of guys to get some work in for sure.
Just a day off for Nolan today, or did he maybe get banged up this
No,
week?
he hurt his thumb doing something.